Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Santa Anita Park here on Sunday. It is the 20th of April, 2025. Gonna look the seventh race from Santa Anita, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the seventh from Santa Anita, which is quite a good race. It's the American Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a $100,000 purse, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 6 horse King of Gosford as a top selection. 6-3-4-2 in the superfecta. 6-3-4-2 super. Top selection 6 horse King of Gosford. This Furrow called by Zoostar here. Phil Diamato trains. Flavian Pratt gets to mount 3-2. The horse's most recent appearance at the races came in the Mathis Brothers Mile at Santa Anita, a mile on the 26th of December, and he won by a length that day. And basically, from the inside, he did all the controlling. He set some very good fractions, and he went away with it. Strong run, 92 buyer for your best. That's what he wants to do. Back here, older horses for the second time. I think he could find a trip to win. He has faced older horses once before in his life. That was quite a few starts ago. We'll get to that in a second. Two back in the Hollywood Park Derby at Del Mar, a mile and an eighth on the 30th of November. He finished second by 3/4 length that day, and he really gained a lot of ground from the inside. He just missed late, but he's had some good trips in his last few races. Not a bad race in the feed that day, and then let it ride from a very wide post ride to Del Mar, a mile on the 31st of October, winning by 2 1/4 lengths. He sat back early, stupidly wide, breaking in the parking lot, but he went away with a very strong run with an 89 bar. His only previous race against older horses came actually in the Eddie D down the hillside turf course, 6.5 at Santa Anita, where he finished third by 2 1/4 lengths, and they were flying. I wonder if the fractions were right. For the 3/4, they ran it in 105 and 3. So, quite fast fractions there. He closed up a little bit that day, but he still needs something more. I just don't think he's a sprinting kind of horse down the hillside turf course. I think he just wants to go a mile. He had a very good place in the La Jolla Handicap at Del Mar over the summer, and his Oceanside race, he just had a very troubled trip. But refreshing here against his quality horses, I think he can win. 3 horse Cabo Spirit for Mike Smith and George Papadromo, I think can win also. He hasn't won since John Henry at Santino over the mile quarterback in back in September, winning by a length that day on the front end. He really ran a terrific race, then ran disappointingly in the Brewers Cup Turf, and then the Seabiscuit, he really ran disappointingly. And the Kilroy a few weeks ago, he had a decent race plan for formidable man. I think back here against these quality horses, it wouldn't surprise me if he finds a trip. And the 4 horse Endlessly, he actually ran last year's Derby and ran for a dirt debut. He ran okay. He finished ninth. It was an okay race. And then he ran. I thought the worst race for him actually was the Belmont Derby at Aqueduct Mile 316th turf course. I backed him that day. He just ran horribly. He was wide and just had nothing. He was empty that day from the back of the pack. Chikari and White Palomino, Legend of Time, ran terrific races. He just stunk up the place. He's refreshing here. It's a good spot for him to find back to the races. He ran terrifically in the prep race for the Derby last year, winning the El Camino Real Derby at Golden Gate over the mile and eighth on Speeda. It wasn't the world's toughest race, but he still won quite nicely and came east to run in the Jeff Ruby Stakes at Turf War, where he won by half a dozen or nearly half a dozen that day, circling the field. A very strong run. But then, Derby was okay, and then he really stunk up the race at Aqueducts. But refreshing here, I'll give him a shot on the ticket. He might need the race, though. But to recap my selection for the seventh now from Santa Anita, it is the American Stakes. Going to take the 6 horse King of Gosford, give kudos to the 3 horse Combo Spirit and the 4 horse Endlessly, 6-3-4-2 Super, 6-3-4 in a multi race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.